Okay, so today we'll talk about LDS functions, right? So I think this is the in the second method we discussed about the LDS wire adapter, and after that there are functions also, right? So I think we completed almost all the wire adapters. So basically, what are wire adapters? We already discussed. We already discussed about, right, wire adapters. So these are the adapters, right? And different adapters have different features, right? So basically, uh, adapter are used to get the data only. What if it can be actual data, it can be metadata, right? So LDS adapter is used to get the records, right? But uh, using functions, we can create record, update record, and delete record. Means we can modify the data in the Salesforce, right? And the last, after that, we'll talk about LDS based lightning components. We already completed Apex things, right? So in these options, there were two methods, wire and imperative. We discussed a lot about this, and this method, this method has, we can say that, much flexibility, because we are doing the Apex. So if we are using Apex, we can do everything, right? And LDS wire adapter and functions does not have that flexibility. But yeah, if the requirement is simple, we just have to get the record and update the record, and we are not there is not a requirement of bulkifications, right? We don't have to update multiple records, just work on single record. You can say that. So by using wire adapter and JavaScript functions, means LDS functions, we can create, update, delete, get records, right? So depending upon the requirement, we can go for either of these three methods, right? So we are into the second method, LDS functions, right? So LDS functions, before going into the LDS functions, let's talk about toast notifications. Means how we can show the toast, right? So basically, to display toast notifications, we have to import show toast event from this module, Lightning Platform show toast event module. So why we use toast? We all to give the information to the user, to display success message, to display wire message, to display warning message, to display some information, right? So so that we can say that key UI can be user friendly. Whatever the user is doing, he can get information accordingly, right? So toast is, we can say that, very uh, useful way to show the information, right, to the user. So first, what we have to do, we have to import show toast event from this module, Lightning Platform show toast event module. And after that, we have to dispatch this event. And what can be in this event? We can title, message data, variant, and mode properties. We'll go one by one, right? So let's come on the example. Let's come on the JS file first. So basically, this is import. We all import Lightning element, which is a mandatory, right? And so we are giving the example. We are talking the example of show toast event, right? So we have to import show toast event from this module, platform show toast event. Here I have made different methods depending upon the, we can say that, depending upon the variant. Means there are I can say there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 variants. Means we can show error message, we can show success message, we can show warning, we can show info. Basically, info is by default. If you don't specify any variant, in the show toast event, so it defaulted to info. So let's go one by one. For example, we have to show the error. So I have created method, and in this method we we are creating an event, show toast event, right? And this show toast event is imported from this module, platform show toast event. What we are passing? Title, message, variant, mode, and basically you can say the title, message, variant, mode, and there is one message data also. And we can say that, let me tell you, these two are required. Title and message. Title and message are required. If you don't specify variant, it will work. If you don't specify mode, it will work, right? Mode means title. If you want to give a title, there is a pop-up, there is a toast, and you want to specify the title for that toast. So it will come here in the title. Message, whatever message you want to display, means in the body, right? Variant, what should be the variant? It is error message, it is a success message, it's a warning message, it's a info. Mode, there is a mode, and mode defines the behavior of the toast, how it behaves. There are basically there are three options for that. Dismissible means it is default. If you don't specify mode in the constructor of this event, it will defaulted to dismissible, right? It means remains visible until you click the close button or 3 seconds has elapsed, whichever comes first. Means if you close, if you can say that it will be visible for 3 seconds only, right? Either you can close or it will be closed automatically after 3 seconds, and this is default. Paster remains visible for 3 seconds and disappears automatically. Means remains visible for 3 seconds and it will disappears automatically. Means what is difference between dismissible and paster will show on the screen, right? It is saying remains visible until you click the close button or 3 seconds has elapsed, whichever comes first, right? So in this we get the close button also, right? So we can close it, right? Or in this we don't have the option to close. And last one is sticky, remains visible until you close the until you click the close button. Means we have to explicitly close the pop-up. So whatever the requirement we have, we can specify mode accordingly. Variant we went through, right? So in the variant there are what means info, success, warning, and error. Whatever type we want to specify, we can specify in variant. And info is by default. If you don't specify anything variant, it will be defaulted to info. Message data will come later. Message is basically whatever message we want to give on the toast, and it's required. Title, it is also required the title of the toast display as a heading, right? So here I have made different buttons, right? And on that button I am calling each of the toast. So error toast message, right? Sorry. So here I have made one button and just clicking, and on click event I am calling the respective methods, right? So let's go to the 1 second. So these all buttons, right, I have made, and on each button I am calling the respective you can say that respective type of toast. So if I click on show error, so you can see that some unexpected error, and after that you can see that the mode was dismissible. Means if I click on show toast, either I can close it or it will be disappear after 3 seconds, right? Got this point? And title, you can see that toast error. So here it is coming toast error. This is the title. And message, some unexpected error, right? So this is the message. right? Variant is error, that and that is why it is coming red, right? Variant, if you specify error, the color of the toast will be red, you can say that. And mode is dismissible, right? Now I'm specifying success mode as a sticky, and another mode is paster. Sorry. So on the source success, you can see that. So you can see the color of, means if you specify variant as success, the color will be like this green, whatever you can say green. I have given the title success, whatever title you can specify here. Message is record created successfully, records created successfully. Variant is success, right? So you can see the icon is also like that icon tick, right? So this is by, we don't need to do anything, just we have to specify the variant. And mode is sticky. That's why it is not getting disappear automatically. We have to explicitly close close the pop-up. So that is why it is the name is sticky, means it will be sticky, right? If I don't close this, right? So on close, it disappears, right? So warning. So on the so, I think so warning. Okay. So let's see. So warning. So you can see the warnings icon. This is a title. This is the message. And paster means it disappears automatically after 3 seconds. But it is not giving option to close this. So it will. I don't have the control, right? So difference between dismissible and paster is that the same, but here we don't get the option to close. It also automatically disappears in 3 seconds, but we don't have the option to close. But here we have the option to close. So this is the main difference between dismissible and paster, right? Another is info, right? So info. So you can see the color of, right, info icon is coming automatically. Thanks for whatever message you can specify. So here you can specify. Here I have given dismissible, so that's why it is it is getting disappear within 3 seconds. Right. So is it clear? Error, success, warning, and info. Right. There are 4 variants. I hope this is clear. So whenever you want to show toast message on any event after creating the record, right? And after deleting whatever operations the user performed, and after that you want to show some toast messages, so we can make use of this show toast event, and that we have to import from this module, and we can create like this. And even what I have done, I have created different methods. Even what you can do, you can create one single method and pass dynamic values. Title you can pass, message you can pass, variant you can pass, mode. So you can keep one method and pass dynamic values also, rather than creating so toast message method again and again. We can pass these parameters dynamic also, right? So if we can make a common method, generally we can make a common method in JS file and pass these values dynamically. So don't need to repeat everything again and again. I have shown you example. Why? Because I have to explain every mode. You can say that every type of toast. Now, one thing is here, there is also a parameter in show toast event, that is message data. So what is message data? What is message data? So first read the message as I told you ki, this is the this parameter contains the uh, body of the message, whatever message we want to show on the toast. It can also contain placeholders in the form of like this. So these are placeholders. Within the curly braces, you can place 0, 1 to the n, whatever the number you, for example, like this 0, 1, 2, like this, and so on, right? And the placeholders are replaced with the links on the message data. So you, by using message data, we can dynamically replace. If you remember the email template, there is also merge field, right? And that gets automatically replaced by the fields you specify. So similarly, if you want to make the message dynamically, you have the requirement you have to show dynamic. And here what we are doing here, we are showing some static message, right? This is a static message, but I want to show ki which records created successfully, right? But records created on the runtime. So after the record creation, I can get ID, right? So that will be come on runtime only. So if you have the requirement, you have to specify some dynamic values. We can make use of message data property. Let's see example. So here, the last button I am using to show this example, so dynamic message. Here, see, same title, right? Message. In message, I have kept some placeholders. So this message are static, but placeholders I want means I want to show some dynamic values here. So how it can be replaced? By configuring the message data. You can see the message data. So message data basically is a array. It can take array of string or object, either the both. So here you can see that in array there is a string. First on the first index it is a string, means that this placeholder will be replaced by account. Means I want to, however I can give anything here. So I'm just showing you the example key. This will be replaced by this, means first index maps to first placeholder in the message automatically. And after that, this is an object. Why we use object? If we want to show some link, for example, I have to replace the this placeholder with link. For example, I have created the record, right? And so I want to show the label, but that label should behave as a link, means on clicking of that it should redirect somewhere, right? So here we can make use of object, and that object takes two properties, URL and label. So label whatever you want to specify, and URL whatever you can want to specify. However, it can be dynamic also. I will show you next example. In this, I can specify the record ID also dynamically, which has been created on the click of any button, right? So just for understanding purpose, you can. I hope you understand that. I understand this, and if I show this, so here you can see account created. See it here. So let me make it message data. Okay, mode sticky. So account created, see it here. Now let's, so this placeholder, the first placeholder is being replaced by this value, account. Means it is the, this value is in the first index, at the first index of this variable message data. Now again, this placeholder is being replaced by this object. Label is here, and on the URL behind the, you can say that behind its link is this link. So if I click on here, it will redirect to salesforce.com, whatever URL you can specify, right? So I think just a second. Okay, understood this part? Sorry.
Yes.
Any question?
No, sir.
Irfan?
नहीं सर, क्लियर है.
Okay, fine. Anil sir, any question? I think you are not doing any practice, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, fine, no worries. So now let's come to our LDS functions: create record, update record, and delete record. I will show these two functions, and delete record is pretty simple. You can come tomorrow by making this example. Create record and update record. So let's go for create record first. Close this. So toast option is very simple. We can use, and I think it is being used heavily in every LWC. So you can make use of toast event. So now we have to show create record, how create record works. So now let's come to the demo, right? So basically this is, we can say that this is a LDS function we can use to create a record, right? And a single record, I guess not only single record, right? If you have the requirement to create a record, right? And a single record, right? So we can make use of create record. So what is the way to use create records? First of all, we have to import create record from Lightning UI record API. So you just remember every in LDS adapter, we are discussing about LDS adapter. So there were different modules. Means different adapter comes from different modules. So in the same way, JavaScript functions, LDS functions resides in different modules. So this create record function, LDS function, reside in UI record API module. So first of all, we have to import this. Now I am showing you the example of creating an account, right? So I have imported two you can say that I have imported only name field. I have imported only name field, right? Then after I imported account object, and I will come later navigation. What is navigation mixin? And we have already talked about show toast event, right? So basics, first of all, I want to show that, then we can. So here, for example, if I put anything here and hit the create, and so it will create an account, right? That is the function. That is the example I am showing, right? So on the HTML part, if you can see that I have just created one Lightning input element, and name equal to name, label enter name, value. This is getting bind with the name property, which I have declared in JS, and there is a event on change I am calling, right? So basically this is a name which is getting bind with that input field. On handle change, I am whatever we are inputting, and in that input field, it will be come in it will be assigned to this property, this field, right? On save record, what I am doing, I am creating a fields. Means, as we discussed in LDS adapter, we have to pass some configurations along with the LDS adapter, right? For example, Swapnil was also showing the list, whatever the name get list UI. So we have to also pass some configurations, means object name, what list view you want to get, right? So similarly for CreateRecord, we have to also pass some configurations, right? So that configurations is record input, right here, record input. I will come later this. So here I am creating fields, and in fields, basically this is simple. I have created an object, and in object I am specifying the field name and assigning the value. Means whatever I am typing in the input field, the value will get binded with the fields object, and in fields there is a property name. I will show you when I show the alert, then you will understand. This is simple JavaScript. I am just assigning the object property using this. Right. So after that, what I have done, I am creating an object record input which I have to pass in the CreateRecord function. What it is taking, API name, which object record you want to create. So for this I am creating account object, right? What fields you are going to specify, means with which fields you are going to create the account record. So I have just specified only name, because name is a mandatory, right? And whatever fields you can pass. So for example, I'm just passing only name here, name field. So basically this is a configurations, you can say, which we have to pass in the CreateRecord input, whatever the object, what object you want to create, and with which fields you want to create, right? So CreateRecord. Now here here is the syntax of the CreateRecord. Don't get confused. This is an Apex function, right? So if CreateRecord. So if you use this you must specify here, right? So basically this is a reference of CreateRecord function. Here we are passing record input, right? Which is what is a configuration as an object. So after this, then means if the success happens, means record is created successfully. Here it will go then. And in this, I am also using navigation mixin. We'll talk separately this topic, navigation mixin. Basically, when we want to use navigation service in LWC, we have to import this. You can say that navigation mixin from the Lightning navigation module. This you can say that this navigation mixin does two things. One, we can use for navigation service, and another we can use for creating the dynamic URL generate. So you can say that, for example, I have created the record and I want to go redirect to URL. So I can dynamically get the URL and redirect to that record. So for this, you can see that, and why I have used this, because I want to show this URL dynamically in that show toast event, which we just talked earlier. Using message data, we can pass some dynamic values in the message. So this method, CreateRecord input, it will create the record. If it's successful, then it come into the then, right? Otherwise, you can say it will go into the cache. If it is success, then otherwise it go into the cache, right? This is the syntax of JavaScript function, right? In this, then if the record is created successfully, I am calling the navigation mixin generate URL, and this will return the URL. And then again, if it returns means if it returns successfully the URL, then I will come into the then in this then you can I am defining the show toast event. Record created successfully, and this is the URL. Means using message data. However, if we can make this dynamic also, right? We can create separate function and call as to show toast event like that. But to show the example, I put it this here. So understand this. I am passing title as success message, records placeholder created, records created seat. So here the first placeholder will be replaced by account, and the second will be replaced by URL. URL is what? This one, which this navigation mixin generate URL is generating the dynamic URL and label whatever you can specify here. So when I click on create record, the pop-up will come record account created, see it here, and in on this there will be a link to the account. You can say that account record page. Okay, fine and fine. So let's see the when I click on create. So here ID is I'm alerting the ID, and here it is showing the URL. So this that function navigation mixin gave the dynamic URL. Okay. Toast message come, record account created, see it here, and this is a link. Okay, so it was, let's create another one. Okay, and I am clicking here. So let's see. So it is redirecting to that record. So if your requirement is like that, you have to create a record and dynamically redirect to that record page. So right, you can also make use of this show toast event along with navigation generate URL. So this means the create record, by using create record JavaScript function, LDS function, we can create a single record. So the requirement is very simple. We have to create a record, right? One record. There is nothing much to do, right? There are some validations, and there is not any. You can say that lots of customizations, right? So we can make use of create record. I think here we have the control also, right? Lots of control. We can make use of validations also here. So we can do everything here in create record. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So no questions, right? Any question here? Okay, I was showing ki you why let me show you that things also. Alert JSON, was it showing? Okay, fields, this dot name, fields. Let me. So here you can see name Amit is coming, right? So here we are passing the fields, right? So basically this is JSON, right? This is JSON. In this way we create the record, right? We are passing the attribute field name and value, right? Field name and value, right? So that's it. This fields and this is doing here. So I have created an object fields, and in the fields I am passing the attributes, right? Fields said whatever fields we can specify. So name and its value, right? So name Amit, it will come, right? And here I am making another object record input. In this, one more attribute will come along with fields, right? API name, account, and fields are this. So I have to means that we are going to create an account and with these fields, So this configuration create record takes, and it automatically understands which records I have to create with which fields. Simple, very simple. So this record input keeps the configurations like this. Simple, very simple. If you understand the object and array, all about this, nothing different. So ID created, URL came, now it will show here, and I can redirect to the account page. Very simple example, but you can use this. You can, if you know this, you can implement in heavy projects, right? And you can understand how the things are working. Very simple example, but these all are basics. I cannot teach you. People say, will you make me the project? Will you show me the live project? So I am not fond of that things. If you know the basics, you can do everything. Whatever you get at runtime. If you don't know the basics, if you I show the live project, I can show you. So this will not help you. But after completing all the sessions, I will create different. We can say that we will practice on different things. So where you can recall ki this function, this we all study in that session, right? So we'll do practice also on some of the tasks. Some of the scenario I can put some of the scenarios and we'll practice. So now let's come to the another LDS function, that is update record, right? So creating record, we already talked about update record. So if you want to update a record, right? So you must have to specify the ID also, right? What record ID you are going to specify. So you are going to update means if you are going to update, you must have to specify the record ID also and object. What object you are going to update with record ID. Now let's see what are the how we can use update record. So similarly, we have to import this update record from the UI record API, right? Update record. And what update record takes as a parameter, as a extra configurations, you can say there is record input in which we can specify what is the object and with which fields you want to update. And client options, we will come this later, but this specifies ki with which options you want to update. Means we can say that there are some predefined options you can set for update. If you remember database method, database.insert, database.update, right? In that we can specify some options also, like is partial, true, false. You want to update partial data, you want to update full, right? You remember database.update or insert, anyone?
Yes.
I have talked in Apex class, right? When we talked about DML versus database methods, right? So in database methods, we can specify some options also. There are lots of options. I don't remember, but there are lots of options. In database.insert, you can specify some options. In database.update, you can specify some options. So for true, false, with which options means it decides the behavior of the update. So client options is exactly like this, that, right? So the specific options that can be specified in the client options argument of the update record function depend on the version of Salesforce you are using and the specific update being performed. Means depending upon the version, depending upon the Salesforce version, the options are different. I have written here these three options: optimistic lock exception, allow field truncation, disable field triggers. We'll talk about key. For example, if I am going to update a record, and in that record we are, for example, there is a field with length 40, and I am specifying the value 45. So it will give an error. The length exceeded, string too long. Exception comes like that. If I have not identified client options, so it will give an error. It will give an exception. So if I use allow field truncation and specify the true value, so the error will not come and the value will be truncated till the maximum length of that field. I am showing this because I am talking about this only because we can relate this. So we can see the example. However, I have not made this example, but yeah, we can see at the runtime. Optimistic lock exception means, for example, I am updating the record, right? Updating the record, and someone is also updating the record at the same time. So it will give it will give an exception. So specify whether an exception should be thrown if the record has been updated since it was last retrieved. Means I will come when I show in the screen. We can relate. So we'll talk on this. Let's come on the example. Sorry. So this example I have put it here in get record. So you remember get record session. What get record is? So in this example, we are making use of LDS adapter, get record, and LDS function update record. Means using LDS adapter get record, I am getting the record and displaying on the screen and doing some changes in the values, and then I'm calling JavaScript function LDS function update record to update that record. Let's come on the screen. Sorry. So this is the demo here. You can see update record demo, right? So this value is coming using get record, right? I get record. This is LWC component which is making use of get record LDS adapter and update record functions to update this record. Basically, what I'm doing. I am displaying the account name field with value, and whatever I want to change. When I update this record will be updated automatically. So I have made use of get record and then update record. So let's go one by one. So these all know, right? Get record. Why because get record LDS adapter are is being used with wire decorator, right? So we have to import wire, then we have to import the wire adapter, and using this we already talked about this get record. I'm whatever using along with get record, we have to pass some configurations, right? Record ID. So record ID value will automatically come since I have placed this LWC on the record page. So I will get the record with what fields I can get. So here I have specified two fields: account source field and name field. And optional fields we already discussed about what are optional fields. So using this, I have retrieved the record. Now let's come on the update the record, right? So I have created a function update record. So as we discussed in the create record function, we have to specify some configurations also, right? Along with the function, with what options you are going to update. So first of all, let's come. So I am creating fields with which fields we have to update that record. So here I am creating the fields object and specifying the value. So fields ID, I am passing the ID. What ID? Record ID. So account record is a variable, it's a property, and I have set account record with data. Means what? Means account record contains the data, means contains the record, account record, using get record adapter, right? And in this, what values are there, what fields are there, these two fields along with id will come automatic, right? So this dot account record dot id. So here in the fields object and in its id attribute, I am specifying the id. Then in fields name field attribute, I am assigning, sorry, let's come on the HTML. So I have created one input field, right? Here you can specify data field equal to name. So whatever means I will teach also this data hyphen field. So using this, I can, you can say that I can find that element. I can find that element. Okay, let's, how we can find this dot template dot query selector and data field equal to name. So in the element, whichever the data field has the value name, I will get automatic value. However, we can also implement like this key on this on the change event of this handle change, I can create a separate variable, assign the value also. And what I am doing, sorry, let's close this. What I am doing here, on the click of button, I am just retrieving the value, means finding the element and getting its value. So in this way we can also do that. This dot template dot query selector and data field is a attribute of this element, and I am defining the attribute here, and that attribute should have value name. So this is the way to identify an element on LWC HTML. Data field equal to name. So this way I am retrieving the value. So here I have created a fields object with, and fields object has ID and name. Why we need ID? Because I am going to update the record. So I have passed this in the record input, means I have assigned this. And then there is options, which we are talking about these things. Let me show you options, client options. So what options you can specify in the client options? This is optimistic lock exception. I'm not sure I can show you this practically, but yeah, I will try this. Allow field truncation. For example, if the field has length of 45 and I am passing 50, if I don't specify this, so it will give an exception. But if I specify allowed field truncation true, so the value will be truncated to 40 and rest of the value ignored and no exception will come. Fields, whatever fields you want to, for example, for now I'm showing example with only name field. And so in options, you can ignore those fields also, means with which fields you want to update. So for example, I have specified 3 fields, but I have to ignore one field, means I don't want to update one field. So I can specify here, means the record, we can say that the update behavior we can control using client options. Here, what is this? If unmodifies, sorry, I have written 2 times. Sorry. If unmodified since, what this properties means, what means, for example, when I run this page, the component will load, okay? And when I click on update, this function will run, and here the time will come. And during this, between this, if any update happens, it will throw an error. Sometimes it may happen ki when I click on update, and after this, in between this, some other user updated the record. So it may give an error. See, if you want to control like that, also you can specify, either you can ignore also. Means sometimes it may give an error. So if you want to control like that, you have the requirement like that. For example, multiple users are working on this form, and for example, I am updating Amit Kumar T to Anil. At the same time, someone is updating to Irfan, but I have to control that. So for example, I updated with Anil and someone updated with Irfan. So that will get override. So if you want to control like that, we can make use of this options. I think let's see example with one. I think this example, I guess you cannot see anywhere in the video. I think you can search. Everyone has talked about update record, how we can update record, but how we can make use of client options, no one is going to show you. So I have created options and record input. Here I am passing record input, and I can pass also options. What is options? Client options. How we can pass? Let me show you. Client options colon object record input. Okay. Options. Just a second. Let's see what happens. So here I am just showing the ID in this is the ID of the account record, right? So I just for this example, I have created one input field and made it disabled, and in this I have just for the reference purpose ki the ID is coming correct, right? So this is the ID of the record, and I'm just showing one field with name, with the name field, right? So here we can see ki in this record name is Amit Kumar TT, and now I'm updating with some other Anil. Let's see what happens. Update. So you can see that ki with which configurations it is going to update. I have sorry, alerted the only a record input, right? So here you can see that field. So with these options we are going. Fields is what ID is this and name is Anil, right? So I'm going to update the account record with this ID with this field only, right? Okay, let's see what happens. So record updated, you can see that record updated, and here you can see that the account name change, right? Got it? Now let's see the example of client options, it worked or not. What I can say, options. Okay, let also and here I'm making it allow false. Will it give error? And I'm not sure. I'm just trying. It may give, it should give an error. And I think anyone knows what is the default length of name field?
No.
No. I think it's 40 something. Is it there? 40. Here it name. Text 40. I guess 40. Let's try with Anil. Now let's keep it simple. Not bad. It's 42. 46, 40, 50. Let's keep it 50. Now let's try with 50. So here what I am checking ki, however it can be controlled using validation ki the length should be like only 40. It can be controlled using validation, but for example, there is no validation, right? There is no validation for length. Ki the name field should have value with 40 length only. For example, there is no validation. So if there is no validation, the exception will come. So let's see it is working or not. Again, deploy this client record. Okay, fine. Right, it is. Let's try. So here I have defined allowed field truncation false. Means this property is false. It means ki if the length exceeds, it should give an exception. Let's try. Right, okay. Allow field truncation false, right? It means what happens? No, I think so it did not give. How can I check? Let me try with, so last is 5. So 51, 5, 52, 53. So there should be 4, 5, okay. Update. Okay. Allow field truncation false. I think what is the length? 80, is it 80, I guess then? I think I guess it is 80. Can you search on Google also what is the length? Now it's 6. So Why it is not giving error? I guess it is 80. So now I am putting 90, length 90. Let's check. क्या बात है? Is it coming? 255 है क्या? Is that 255? The same. Can we try for another field rather than let's try for
प्रीति कैरेक्टर आ रहा है सर.
no. Let's try for another field. Is there any custom field?
$100 कैरेक्टर है सर.
100.
हाँ, अकाउंट नेम के लिए, और नॉर्मल लोग मतलब कस्टम के लिए 80.
अच्छा, let's try once again then. 91, 1 2 3 4 100, 101, 102. So I am specifying 102. It got updated. Let's try with some other field. Custom. Is there any custom field? Number of contacts.
मोबाइल.
SIC code. SLS serial number. SLS serial number. So why I'm checking the field level security? Because I am using GetRecord. So it checks the security. Whatever fields I can specify in fields that user have the permission to retrieve. So what I'm doing, so account, so I'm replacing the account source field with SLA serial number. No, I have to replace with that's name. So I'm just keeping the name field, but yeah, in the name field, serial number is coming. And I will update the serial number. So here we can change the name serial number, and here I can specify this field serial number. Right, let's keep it same. So basically serial number has the length serial 10. Okay, so it should give an error 10. So it's serial number It did not come here. Why? This not the same page layout. Let me check the page layout. Sales layout. So now serial number, like, so now I am updating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see, and 0. So let's see. Right, so an error occurred. So this worked. I'm specific. So this field's SLA serial number has the length 10, but I am specifying greater than 10. So it gave an error. But if I don't want to exception come, right? So what we can do, since I had handled since I had handled the exception, that's why uh, uh, toast came, right? If I did not handle, so the exception will occur, right? However, exception has occurred, I have handled using catch, but I don't want to go into the error. So what I can do, make it true. Now let's see. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So last number is 1. Now I am adding 1, 0. So the exception will not come and value will be truncated to this. So here I can see this value will be come here. Let's see. Update. Okay. An error. Why it is not? So I think there is some other error is coming. Let's debug. Allow truncation true. Success error. District. Data field name value. Name field API I have changed to series. Right. Name field. Right. The error is coming, that's fine, but the error should go away by using this option. So let's, for example, if I don't, is it working or not? Update. Okay. So it is working. So here it came, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm changing 0. Update. It is not working. So means it is conflicting. It should work, right? So maybe I'm not specifying 0 update. Allow field truncation true. Okay. I have to debug. Options is there, but why it is not taking? Const options. Should I make as it? Maybe I'm not specifying. Should I be options? Let's check. Options is not defined. Okay, sorry. I'm not sure why it is giving error. I will come, I will check and come with this tomorrow, right? So let's keep it simple today. So basically, why it is not working, I will check. But yeah, the client options specify it should truncate to the truncate to the 10 value with a length of 10, and the error should not come, right? So why it is coming, I'm not sure, but I will show in tomorrow example. So I hope you understand the update record, right? And tomorrow please come with a delete record example. That is very simple. We just have to specify the record ID. Whatever record ID you will specify, it will delete the record, right? So please come with delete record example tomorrow. Fine. Fine, Swapnil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's close the session for today. Okay. I
तो
hope
सर
you
अभी
are.
सिलेबस कितना बाकी है?
Maybe we can say that let's stop the recording first. Yes.